Do you know that termites once caused $8,000 worth of damage in a flat in Singapore? Watch this to the end to know what termites are, because you really should know this yesterday. So, firstly, we need to know what exactly are termites. We Singaporeans love to call termites white ants, but here's the thing, they're actually not ants. They are traffic police officers at overhead bridge catching not that white ant. But anyways, termites are actually not ants. Instead, if you want to associate them with an insect family, they're actually more like cockroaches. So you should call them white cockroaches instead. In Singapore, the Asian subterranean termite is the main troublemaker here. In Singapore and Malaysia, this single species is responsible for 80 to 90% of the damage caused to man-made structures by insects. Now, here's the part that nobody tells you. The main termites did not actually live in your flat. Now, don't be too happy yet. Think of a termite colony like a company. There's a headquarters where the queen lives and lay eggs, and there are branch offices in places where the workers find good food and moisture. For our Singapore termites, the HQ is almost always underground in the soil, or deep inside a structure with steady moisture. When you spot termites in your home, it usually just means worker termites have found a food in your house. The main nest is somewhere else, usually in the ground. Before you cheer, watch on. These termites also build satellite colonies inside the house they are feeding on. For example, in the example I cited in the beginning of the video, termite satellite colonies were found inside the homeowner's TV cabinet, kitchen cupboards, and even her electrical sockets and wiring. But as mentioned, these could be satellite colonies, not the main nest. So, what happened is that when termites are searching around their main nest for food, and they found food and water in the same spot like your cabinet, the workers will stop commuting back to the main nest and just set up a satellite colony right there. So, how do they destroy your house? Firstly, you need to know what they feed on. There's a misconception that they eat almost everything. That's not true Instead, they are like me. They eat the most boring and tasteless thing, cellulose, which is in wood, paper or cardboard.
Oh, you like to eat tasteless things like cardboard?
No I didn't like But because my wife cooking tastes like cardboard, so I have to eat them and I really love my wife's cooking. Cardboard 万岁万岁万岁好吃. How come you are here? I was just talking about you. You makan already, but want to eat tissue prata? So no they don't eat everything in your HDB flat, unless your whole flat is made up of wooden furniture. But why would you see holes in some places? It's because they will sometimes drill through rubber, plastic, and even styrofoam in their search for food. The risk is that because a wooden structure is so big and they usually eat from the inside outwards, they have likely spent years eating it. So this means by the time you see any visible damage from the outside, like say your cabinet, the colony has likely been quietly working for years already, and so no cure for your furniture The good news is that termites seldom bite or sting, and they don't transmit diseases, although termite dust and droppings may trigger asthma or allergies in sensitive individuals. So, how do you know if there's a satellite colony in your house, feasting on your furniture or the inside of your door? If you are looking to advertise your business in this channel, we can help you. There are guaranteed views and many big brands have trusted us. Just click on the link in the description. Of course, the best way is to spot the termite themselves or hear that your door frame or cabinet sound hollow, since it means termite already have a feast within it. But seeing them is as difficult as seeing an influencer posting her bank account statement online. So let's look at some other ways to spot if there's an active infestation. Here's something interesting you might not know. Ants eat termites. Yes, the ants you see eating your food also eat termites. In order to protect themselves against ants, termites use their saliva together with mud or soil to block any entry points to their satellite colony. These are known as mud tubes, and you can see them clearly like this. They are also used to maintain moisture for them. So if you see them, there's likely an active infestation somewhere. Another way is to look for small wings near window sill or under lights, especially after rain. Now, remember I said earlier that when there are satellite colonies in your house, it's likely they come from a main nest nearby, likely an area with steady moisture. Well, the main nest is kind of created by special flying termites that can reproduce. These flying termites don't eat wood themselves. Their job is to fly out, pair up mid-air with a partner, then land, shed their wings, and burrow underground together to start a new nest. So if you see piles of small wings on your windowsill after a rain, it's likely they have started a nest nearby. So, what should you do if you have a termite infestation? Unlike some other infestation, whereby you can destroy the infestation yourself, it's not advisable to do so for termite infestation. You see, if you spray Baygon in the colony, it scatters the termites and makes them harder to eliminate. After all, spotting one satellite colony might be futile. Remember, there's a main nest nearby, and it's likely there are a few satellite colonies in your house. The best solution is to call a pest control company. However, if you want to, you can buy over-the-counter anti-termite products that beat termites to bring the products back to the satellite colonies, and even to the main nest, spreading the anti-termite insecticide and bringing the entire colonies and nest down. Of course, these are not guaranteed to work, so a pest control company might work better. Anyways, as mentioned, the main nest might be outside a HDB flat. If so, you can report it to a town council. Now that you are an expert in termites, you might want to watch this video about ants and why they will suddenly appear on your food even when you didn't see them anywhere. Also, if you want to advertise with us, even as a standalone video, do contact us. Our website is in the description, or you can scan this QR code. Thank you for spending almost 6 minutes with me. I really appreciate it and hope you learned something.